Good morning. I'm here to take a seminar on the topic pricing policy under imperfect competition. So, firstly, we'll see what an imperfect competition is. So, it is basically a competitive market situation where there are many sellers and these sellers sell heterogeneous or dissimilar products as opposed to a perfectly competitive market where the sellers sell homogeneous or similar products. And as the name suggests, an imperfect competition or a market is basically a market situation which is imperfect in nature. It does not meet the rigorous standards of a hypothetically perfect or pure competitive market. And in this environment, companies sell different products and services. They set their own individual prices, they fight for a market share, and are often protected by barriers to entry and exit. So, imperfect competition takes four forms: monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopsony. The two forms that I will be taking up today is monopoly and monopolistic competition. So we'll start off by explaining what a monopoly is. A monopoly is a market structure which is characterized by a single seller who is selling a unique product in the market. So, in a monopoly market, the seller faces no competition because he is the sole seller of a good which has no close substitutes. The monopoly market is driven by certain forces like government licensing, ownership of resources, copyright and patents, and high starting cost, which enables a seller to monopolize a certain good. And all these factors also restrict the entry of other sellers into the market. Monopolies also possess some kind of information which is not known to others. And because of these factors, there is only a single seller in the market. And because of this, he is the price maker. He enjoys the power of setting a price without leaving it to the forces of demand and supply. A good example of a monopoly market would be the Indian Railways. Nextly, we look at the diagram. In the diagram, we can see the point M. It is the point where the monopoly maximizes its profit. It's where the MR curve intersects the MC curve, and it sets a price of PM and QM. Here is the point where the monopoly maximizes its profit. And we can see the orange rectangular box, which shows the supernormal profits that the monopoly acquires. There is a blue triangle which indicates the dead weight welfare laws. So, since the MC curve is the supply curve of a monopoly, and since it's the single seller in an industry, the MC curve is also the industry supply curve. Where it intersects the demand curve is at point C. Hence, the optimum quantity that needs to be produced is QC, but the quantity that is currently produced is QM. And hence, this causes a dead weight welfare loss, which is a loss of welfare to the society. And this is what is denoted by the blue triangular figure. Nextly, we're going to look at the key features of a monopoly. So, these are certain characteristics that are unique to a monopoly market. Firstly, it is the lack of substitutes. In a monopoly structure, firms normally produce a good without close substitutes. The product is generally often specific and unique. For example, when Apple started producing the iPad, it arguably had a monopoly over the tablet market. So it lacks substitute because it is the single seller in a market. Secondly, it's the barriers to entry. So as I mentioned earlier, there are significant barriers that exists for entry into a monopoly market. So if new firms want to enter the industry, the monopolist will if the new firms enter into an industry, the monopolist will not have complete control of a firm on the supply. This implies that there will be no difference between a firm and an industry, and hence it's very difficult for firms to enter into a monopoly market. The third one is competition, and because of the above said reasons, there are no close competitors in a monopoly market. It's generally a single seller, and that seller faces no competition. And we also mentioned that in monopoly, the single seller is the price maker because there's no competition, there are no other products in the market, and hence he enjoys the power of setting the price without leaving it to the forces of demand and supply. The fifth one is the profit structure. A monopolist can maintain supernormal profits in the long run, but it is not necessary that he earns profits too. He can also be making a loss or maximizing revenues. This can never happen under perfect competition. So, in the case where abnormal profits are available in the long run, other firms will also enter the market, and as a result, abnormal profits will be eliminated. And this is how the profit structure works in a monopoly. Next, we're going to talk about monopolistic competition. So, it is a type of imperfect market structure where producers sell products that are differentiated from one another, and hence they're not perfect substitutes for each other. So, basically, they're similar in nature but not identical. So, unlike monopoly, these firms have very little power to set curtail supply or to raise prices to increase their profits. So, they try to differentiate their products in order to achieve something above market returns. Heavy advertising and marketing is common among firms in monopolistic competitions, but some economists view this as wasteful. A good example of monopolistic competition is restaurants. Next, we're going to see look at the graph of monopolistic competition. In the first graph is monopolistic competition in the short run. It is similar to the diagram in Monopoly. The firm maximizes its profit at when the MR curve intersects the MC curve, where MR is equal to MC, and this sets the price at P1 and output at Q1, and this leads to the monopolistic competition acquiring supernormal profits. It's denoted by the orange rectangular box. The next graph looks at monopolistic competition in a long run. So, in the long run, supernormal profits encourages new firms to enter the market. This reduces the demand for existing firms and leads to normal profit. Look at the key features of a monopolistic competitive industry. The first one is it has a large number of firms, many firms exist. Secondly, there is freedom of entry and exit into the market. There are not many restrictions that restricts firms from entering and exiting the market. Firms produces differentiated products, so there's great level of differentiation among products, and they have inelastic demand. They are the price makers because the goods are highly differentiated. So, like monopoly, firms in monopolistic competition are also price makers. Firms make normal profit in the long run but could make supernormal profits in the short run. We've seen that in the previous diagrams. Dynamic efficiency is possible as firms have excess profit to invest in research and development. Since the firms earn supernormal profits, these profits can go into research and development. And in a monopolistic competitive industry, it is possible that the firm faces competitive pressures to cut cost and provide better products. So since they do face competition, it drives firms in monopolistic competitive industries to reduce prices, which works in favor of the consumers and also create more innovative and better products. Thank you.